Look at the silence around you right now. Notice how clean it feels. Notice how the people who swore they had you figured out suddenly don't talk as loud. Funny how that works. They used to run their mouths like they were the narrators of your life. You'll never rise. You're not built for big things. Just give up already. Right. And look who's watching from the shadows now, completely stunned that you didn't just rise, you changed the entire atmosphere around you. The universe didn't just keep you alive, it gave you something new, something dangerous, something the world has never seen before, and your enemies feel it first. They always do. When they said you were weak, they didn't expect you to walk through the fire and come out with a colder stare and a sharper mind. When they pushed you, expecting you to break, they didn't think you'd evolve. They didn't think the universe would start rewarding you in ways that make their stomach twist. Oh, the legend needs to bow. No, the legend just walked in, and every person who doubted you suddenly can't breathe the same way anymore. Before we go further, hit the like button and subscribe. That's how you strengthen this message, chosen one. You ever notice how enemies act when the universe flips the script? They get quiet, they pretend they don't care. They start telling people they're unbothered. They walk around with that fake calm, hoping nobody notices their hands shaking. Because deep down, they know something shifted around you, something they didn't expect. The universe started rewarding you in a way they can't explain, and it scares them. Let's build this scene properly. Imagine the aftermath of a storm, trees still dripping, roads still wet. Everything looks calm, but you can feel what just happened. That's your life right now. You're standing in this strange quiet where even your own breath sounds louder. This is the moment right before the world realizes you're not the same person they thought they buried. Your power didn't come from applause or validation. It came from what you survived, and the universe took notes. Let's talk about those notes for a second. They're not pretty, they're not gentle, they're not inspirational, poster friendly. The universe watched you get disrespected in rooms where you weren't there to defend yourself. It watched people laugh at your pain. It watched people pretend they cared while secretly hoping you'd fail so they could feel superior for 5 minutes. The universe saw every dirtbag smile, every betrayal, every fake apology, every backhanded compliment, and instead of pulling the plug on your story, the universe stored all those moments like evidence. And now, oh, chosen one, that evidence is turning into fuel. Think about the nights you fell asleep with swollen eyes, whispering to yourself that things would get better even when everything around you told you they wouldn't. Think about the mornings you forced yourself up with no energy, no support, and no cheerleaders. Think about the times you were the only one holding yourself together while the world acted like nothing was wrong. You weren't just surviving, you were building the power that the world has never seen before. Let me bring in a memory you might have forgotten. Remember that moment when someone you trusted looked you dead in the face and basically told you that you'd never become anything special. Maybe they said it with fake kindness. Maybe they said it in a joke. Maybe they didn't say it directly but showed it with every action. And in that moment, something inside you broke. But that's the part they never understood. What broke was not your spirit. What broke was the old version of you. The version that tolerated disrespect. The version that begged for support. The version that believed people when they underestimated you. The universe honored that breaking point. It was the moment you finally stepped into the timeline where you were meant to win. Enemies hate this part. They hate realizing they weren't fighting the final form of you. They were fighting your tutorial version, the warm-up, the beta test. And now that the universe is rewarding you, they can't stop replaying their own mistakes. Look how they panic when someone mentions your name. Look how fast they change the subject. Look at the way they pretend they don't care anymore, but still check on you in secret, like you owe them closure. Chosen one, they thought they were hurting you. They were training you. Let's rewind the story even more. That one betrayal you thought would finish you, it didn't. The universe flipped it into clarity. That rejection that made you question your worth, it sharpened your standards. That fake friend who smiled in your face while talking behind your back, they taught you how to recognize masks before people even put them on. Every wound gave you a new sense, a new instinct, a new form of protection. You didn't become cold, you became precise. And now the universe is rewarding you with something they never expected. They thought you'd just heal. No, the universe upgraded you, quietly, silently, without announcing it. And that's why it hits harder. Power is scariest when it grows in silence. That's why your enemies are nervous. They don't know what's coming, but they feel it. The universe always warns them before it rewards you. Chosen one, pause for a moment, because after this message, nothing in your life will look the same. Your spirit will feel it. Your atmosphere will shift. Your awareness will sharpen, and a power the world has never seen before will start rising inside you. You didn't click this message by accident. Something in the universe has already started moving toward you, and it chose this moment to reveal the truth. You didn't fight all those battles for nothing. You didn't cry all those nights for nothing. You didn't survive loneliness, sabotage, rejection, betrayal, heartbreak, and setback after setback just to return to a normal life. The universe doesn't waste warriors like you on small missions. The universe rewards people who refuse to break, who refuse to bow, who refuse to let darkness have the last word. Today, this message reveals why the universe is releasing this new power into your life, what it will do for you, and how you will feel it awaken inside you. And by the end of this, you'll understand why people who once laughed at you are now terrified of what comes next. This is your turning point, chosen one. And trust me, the universe is only getting started. So, chosen one, take a second and breathe, because this is where the message shifts gears. If you've made it this far, then you already feel that strange pressure in your chest, that pull the universe gives right before a new power wakes up inside you. And if this episode is hitting you a little too accurately, that's your sign to stay locked in until the end. Before we go deeper, drop a comment with the number 777 so the universe knows you're ready to claim the power it's been holding back for you. And if you want to boost the team behind this message, hit that super thanks. Your support keeps this mission alive. It doesn't matter if it's a penny or a fortune. Every bit helps carry truth to the people who need it most. Now, chosen one, lean in. What comes next isn't random. It's the exact path the universe has been lining up for you from the moment you refuse to break. And if you're honest, you already feel the shift happening. So let's move into it step by step. And trust me, if you truly are one of the chosen ones, you won't even want to click away. Let's get into it. Number 1. The weight that exposed everyone who wasn't built for you. They laughed at your delay, and now they're choking on their own timeline. Chosen one, let's talk about that long, painful journey you walked through, the one everyone pretended not to see, the one that made your enemies so confident that you'd never rise. They whispered, if they were meant for greatness, it would have happened by now. Cute, right? Look who's sweating now. Look who's obsessively checking your life like they're waiting for a plot twist they can't control. The same people who mocked your patience are now terrified of your progress. That's what happens when the universe protects someone who wasn't meant to be rushed. Let's be real. You didn't just go through delay, you went through years where nothing made sense. You watched people with half your heart, half your skill, half your integrity move faster than you. You wondered, why is my path taking so long? What am I doing wrong? Did the universe forget me? But deep down, a tiny voice kept telling you to hold on. And that voice wasn't weakness, it was preparation. It was the universe shaping you into someone whose rise would hit harder because it wasn't rushed. See, the universe doesn't let powerful people show up before they're ready. Chaos would break loose. Weak minds would crumble. The wrong people would attach themselves to you and ruin the entire design. Early success destroys people who aren't built for it. And your enemies? They were hoping you'd get impatient and burn out. They were hoping the delay would break you. They were praying for your exhaustion. They wanted you to quit so they could feel smarter than you for once in their lives. But you didn't quit. You adapted. You suffered quietly. You rebuilt silently. You walked through years that would have crushed most people. And this is the part they'll never admit out loud. Every time you survived a setback, another crack formed in their ego. They couldn't understand how you were still standing. They couldn't understand how someone so behind still carried themselves with more depth than any of them combined. Let's break this down properly, chosen one. Your delay wasn't a pause. It was camouflage. The universe hid you the same way a museum hides a masterpiece before its grand reveal. You weren't stuck. You were being held back from people who would have used you, drained you, copied you, or destroyed you before you even knew what you were carrying. Some of those people you used to admire would have ruined you if the universe let them have access to your fully awakened self. That's why you were isolated. That's why doors stayed shut. That's why connections fell apart before they began. Protection often feels like punishment until you understand the pattern. Look at your past for a second. Think about that one friendship that fell apart suddenly. You thought it was random. No, that person wasn't meant to witness your evolution. Think about the job you didn't get. You thought you failed. No, that room wasn't strong enough for your presence. Think about the love you wanted so badly that slipped out of your hands. You thought it was your fault. No. That person would have drained your spirit and slowed your destiny. The universe wasn't delaying you, it was removing anything that couldn't handle you. But your enemies, they don't have the emotional IQ to understand this. They thought your silence meant weakness. They thought your patience meant defeat. They threw jokes, threw shade, threw doubt, threw false stories, threw every weapon they could get their hands on, thinking you were too tired to dodge. Why isn't anything happening for them? Maybe they peaked already. Maybe they're not as great as they think. Cute theories. Too bad none of them aged well. Here's the truth that stings them the most. Your delay made you dangerous. It made you sharp. It made you strategic. It made you observant. While the world was partying, you were learning. While others rushed ahead without thinking, you were studying their mistakes. While your enemies were celebrating your losses, the universe was upgrading you behind the scenes. You didn't waste your dark seasons. You absorbed them. You became someone whose strength isn't loud, but lethal. Let's hit you with a metaphor now, because you've earned it. A sword isn't forged in sunlight. It's forged in heat, pressure, and darkness. The longer it stays in the fire, the deadlier it becomes. Your journey wasn't delayed. It was tempered. Every setback added a new layer of resilience. Every betrayal added a new layer of wisdom. Every lonely night added a new layer of self-control. You didn't get weaker. You became a weapon. And nothing terrifies your enemies more than the moment a weapon realizes what it is. Chosen one, let's answer something that's been sitting heavy in your mind. Why didn't anyone help me? Why didn't anyone show up when I needed them the most? Because the universe didn't want anyone taking credit for your rise. If someone helped you at the wrong time, they'd claim ownership over your power later. They'd say, they're only where they are because of me. The universe said no. Your glow-up had to be pure, untouched, unclaimed, authored by your effort alone. And here's another truth your enemies choke on. The universe delayed you so you could outgrow every person who underestimated you. If you had risen earlier, you would have still been attached to people who didn't deserve you. You would have still been loyal to the wrong ones. You would have dragged dead weight into your future. And the universe refused to let your destiny rot because of old attachments. Let's get even more personal. Remember those nights you felt invisible, like no matter how hard you tried, no one saw your worth. The universe was letting you experience invisibility so you could learn how to shine without begging for attention, so you could grow without applause, so when your moment finally comes, no one can take it away from you with silence or ignorance. Your glow isn't dependent on the world seeing you. Your glow exists because you endured the world ignoring you. Now let's talk about your enemies again, because they deserve another slap. They thought your delay meant they were ahead permanently. They treated your patience like it was a joke. They bragged about their temporary wins like they were untouchable. But the universe loves balance, and when your power hits, when your rise becomes undeniable, when your influence spreads faster than their lies ever did, they'll realize something painful. They built their identity around being better than you. Now that you're rising, they have nothing left. Chosen one, your journey took long because you were never meant to rise normally. You weren't meant to rise quietly. You weren't meant to rise at the same time as everyone else. The universe wanted your rise to be a shockwave, not a step forward. Your delay was the drum roll before the entrance, the build-up before the reveal, the silence before the explosion. And here's the final truth. You were hidden not because you lacked value, but because your value was too rare to expose early. You carried potential that needed time to mature. You carried vision that needed protection. You carried power that required isolation to understand. When you enter the world fully, you won't blend in. You'll disrupt it. That's why the universe took its time with you. Your delay was your shaping, your darkness was your training, your loneliness was your elevation, and now that the universe is rewarding you, everyone who doubted you will finally understand the price of underestimating a chosen one. And this is just the beginning. Number 2. The reveal they never prepared for. They wanted you hidden until they realized hiding you was protecting them, not you. Chosen one, your hiding season just ended, and your enemies feel it before you do. The air around you changed. The energy around you thickened. The universe didn't keep you invisible forever. It kept you invisible until it became dangerous to keep you unseen any longer. And now the reveal begins. Not the soft kind, not the let me impress the world kind. The type of reveal that makes the wrong people panic because they finally see what the universe was shaping in you all along. Let's get something straight. The power rising inside you right now, it's not normal, it's not charm, it's not confidence, it's not good vibes. This is something the universe only gives to people who survived things others never could, and the world is not ready for it. Your enemies definitely aren't ready for it. They were prepared for the old you, the quiet one, the unsure one, the one trying to figure everything out. They're not prepared for the version of you that finally understands what you are. Power hits different when it was born in darkness and fed by silence. You're stepping into a level of strength that can't be copied. People will try. Trust me. They'll imitate your tone, your style, your energy, your presence, your confidence, even your mistakes. They'll mimic the outer shell because they don't understand what's happening inside you. They'll think, if I act like them, maybe I'll get the same results. Cute. But the universe didn't give them what it gave you. They're copying the shadow. You're carrying the source. Let's answer the question sitting in the back of your mind. If this power is real, why didn't I feel it before? Because you weren't ready to use it without destroying yourself. Power without discipline becomes chaos. Power without clarity becomes confusion. Power without identity becomes manipulation. The universe waited until you outgrew the insecurities that would have ruined you. It waited until you became someone who wouldn't weaponize your strength against yourself. It waited until you developed the emotional maturity to carry something this rare without wasting it on people who didn't deserve access to you. Imagine this, a thunderstorm forming behind a mountain. For years, it builds quietly. The sky looks normal. The land looks normal. The people look up and see nothing. But behind the mountain, the pressure grows. The clouds gather. The electricity rises. When the storm finally breaks past the ridge, no one can stop it. No one can run from it. That's you right now. Your spiritual atmosphere has been building pressure for years, and now the world is finally seeing the cloud they should have feared long ago. Another example, imagine a chess piece hidden under a cloth. The enemy assumes it's weak because they can't see it. They plan around it. They mock it. They step over it. And then, at the exact moment the universe chooses, the cloth lifts, revealing the one piece capable of turning the entire board upside down. That's the power the universe is releasing in you. Let's talk about imitation, because it's coming. You're about to witness people copy everything about you, not because they admire you, but because they're afraid you're leaving them behind. They'll steal your phrases. They'll mimic your energy. They'll dress like you, move like you, talk like you, laugh like you, because they think your power comes from the outside. They think it's aesthetic. They think it's style. She can copy your moves, but she will never copy your momentum. He can copy your tone, but he will never copy your fire. Anyone can copy the look, but they can't copy the origin. Your power isn't from this world. It's not an accessory. It's not performance. It's not charisma. It's something the universe placed inside you because you earned it. You suffered for it. You proved you could carry it. You proved you wouldn't misuse it just to feel superior. You proved you wouldn't sell it for attention or validation. And the universe saw every test. Imagine this, a locked vault deep underground. Inside it is a rare element so volatile that the wrong hands would trigger an explosion. Only the chosen person with the right chemistry can unlock it without destroying themselves. That's your inner power. It wasn't released earlier because the world wasn't safe from it and you weren't ready to hold it. But now you've grown into it. You've become someone who can carry a rare strength without letting it blind you. Now, here's another question you might be ashamed to ask. Why do I feel like the universe gave me something heavy, not something light? Because real power is heavy, real intuition is heavy, real clarity is heavy, real awareness is heavy. This power isn't glitter, it's gravity. It doesn't float, it pulls. It pulls truth toward you, it pulls lies out of people, it pulls masks off faces, it pulls the right paths closer and pushes the wrong ones away. That heaviness you feel isn't pressure. It's authority. Your silence now holds more power than your voice ever did. Your presence shifts rooms effortlessly because the universe has upgraded your energy. Your thinking is sharper, not because you became smarter overnight, but because the universe finally revealed what it hid inside you. Your instincts feel louder because they are. Your awareness feels deeper because it is. Your boundaries feel unbreakable because they must be. Chosen one, listen carefully. The universe waited until the world underestimated you so deeply that your rise would become a psychological earthquake. People who doubted you will feel confused. People who mocked you will feel ashamed. People who betrayed you will feel haunted. They'll say things like, "Where did this come from?" Or, "They weren't like this before." No, you were like this. You were just hidden. Now your hidden season is over. Now the world sees what it wasn't ready to face. And here's the part that stings your enemies the most. The universe didn't give you this power to show off. It gave it to you because your next chapter requires it. You're stepping into situations where normal energy won't work. You're entering circles where surface-level confidence collapses instantly. You're walking into spaces where truth hits harder than appearance, and you are becoming the person with the rare truth others can't deny. Let me paint it clearly. Imagine you walk into a room, and without saying a word, people straighten up. They don't know why. They don't know what changed, but something in your energy demands respect they once refused to give. That's the level of power entering your life. People will avoid eye contact because they feel exposed around you. People will speak carefully because they feel your intuition cutting through them like a blade. People will pull away because they realize they can't manipulate you anymore. People will return because they finally understand what they lost. Some will admire you, many will fear you, but none will ignore you again. And chosen one, here's the final truth of this section, the one you need to hold tight. The universe is not giving you a new power, it's releasing the power you always had, the one it kept locked away until you became strong enough to carry it without collapsing. You didn't change, you rose into yourself, you didn't become powerful. You finally met the version of you that was waiting behind the pain. And the world isn't ready for that. This is the end of hiding, chosen one, and the beginning of domination. Number 3. The unseen loyalty that made you unbreakable. They mocked your silence, not knowing your silence was the contract the universe watched the closest. Chosen one. Let's cut straight into the truth your enemies hoped you would never understand. The universe rewards loyalty in silence, not the loud, performative loyalty everyone shows when life is easy. Real loyalty. The loyalty you showed when nothing made sense, when everything felt unfair, when people walked away from you at your lowest, when your heart was shaking but you still held on to your purpose like it was the last thread keeping you alive. That's the loyalty the universe pays attention to. That's the loyalty that activated the power rising inside you now. Faithfulness in silence is the sharpest weapon a chosen one ever builds. Because chosen one, when life lost its meaning, you didn't abandon your path. When everyone doubted you, you didn't switch up. When you were exhausted, you didn't collapse into bitterness. When you were betrayed, you didn't let your soul turn to stone. You stayed loyal to what you knew deep down was yours, even when the world tried to convince you otherwise. Let's address the question sitting at the bottom of your chest. Why did the universe let it go on so long? Why didn't it reward me earlier? Because the universe wasn't testing your strength, it was testing your consistency. Anybody can be loyal when they're comfortable. Anybody can be focused when they're praised. Anybody can follow their path when everything is working out. But you You kept going with no applause, no support, no validation, no safety net, no evidence that it would work. That's the type of loyalty that scares your enemies. They can copy your look, your tone, your behavior, but they will never copy your endurance. They will never copy your ability to stay committed without attention. They wanted to know your secret, but your secret was the nights you cried and still didn't quit. Let's go deeper. Imagine this. You're walking through a forest at night. No map, no moonlight, no signs, just your breath and your heartbeat. Every step feels wrong. Every branch sounds like danger. Most people turn back. Most people give up. But you didn't. You kept walking until the trees thinned out and light returned. That's what your life has been, walking through darkness without abandoning yourself. Here's another metaphor. Imagine a seed underground. It's buried, it's suffocating, it's alone. Nothing about that environment feels like growth. But the seed stays loyal to its nature anyway, and that loyalty becomes the force that breaks the soil. That's you, chosen one. Your loyalty in silence cracked open a future other people will never understand. Let's put it even simpler. The universe trusts what it sees in the dark, not what people show in the light. And chosen one, the universe watched you closely. It saw you wake up with no energy, yet still move. It saw you holding hope with bloody hands. It saw you choose honesty over shortcuts, even when shortcuts looked easier. It saw you stay kind when cruelty would have been justified. It saw you stay focused when distraction was cheaper. It saw you hold on to yourself when everyone else tried to rewrite your worth. That's the type of loyalty the universe rewards. You weren't being punished, you were being proven. And now, that proof is cashing out in power, this new energy inside you. It didn't come from books, gurus, or trends. It wasn't taught to you, it wasn't borrowed, it wasn't imitated, it was earned in seasons where nobody was watching. Let's answer another question lurking in your mind. Why do I feel different now? Sharper, colder, stronger? Because chosen one, once the universe decides it can trust you, something fundamental shifts inside you. Your sensitivity becomes intuition, your pain becomes pattern recognition, your silence becomes authority, your isolation becomes clarity, your heartbreak becomes X-ray vision. You see things faster, you read intentions quicker, you detect lies instantly, you can feel energy shifting before anyone else notices. That's not paranoia, that's elevation. Imagine this. Glass that was once fragile gets melted down and reforged into bulletproof material. Same ingredients, different strength. That's what your loyalty did to you. It reshaped your spiritual structure. Another metaphor. Imagine a warrior sharpening a blade in complete silence. No one sees the sparks. No one hears the grinding. Everyone assumes the warrior disappeared. But when they return, they carry a weapon that looks simple, but cuts through anything. That's you. The universe didn't sharpen you in public, it sharpened you in the dark. And here's something your enemies will never recover from. They underestimated the quietest version of you, and now they have to face the awakened version. The person they doubted is gone. The person the universe built has finally arrived. Your silence wasn't weakness. Your isolation wasn't punishment. Your exhaustion wasn't failure. It was all evidence. Evidence the universe needed before it unlocked a level of power that cannot be stolen, copied, faked, or forced. This power is rare because it only activates in people who don't abandon themselves when life gets heavy. Most people fold when they feel alone. Most people give up when nobody claps. Most people need validation to stay committed. You kept going with nothing, and now you will move with everything. Let's talk about something deeper, something you only admit to yourself when your room is dark and your phone is silent. Why was I loyal to a vision that gave me nothing for so long? Because chosen ones don't follow rewards. They follow truth. They follow alignment. They follow that feeling in their stomach that refuses to shut up. They follow the future calling their name, even when present-day reality looks hopeless. That is why the universe trusts you. That is why your power is being released now. That is why people who once ignored you will soon pretend they always believed in you. Here's another quote for your enemies to choke on. They tried to bury you with silence, but silence is where chosen ones multiply. And now, chosen one, your power is not just rising, it's stabilizing. This isn't a boost. This isn't a temporary upgrade. This isn't a motivational high. This is inheritance power, the kind of energy that stays with you for life. But not inheritance the way humans think of it. No money, no titles, no old world symbolism. This is spiritual inheritance, the universe passing down power because you've proven you won't misuse it, abuse it, or waste it on people who don't deserve it. The universe can trust you with influence because you earned integrity when nobody rewarded you. The universe can trust you with clarity because you developed patience when the world gave you chaos. The universe can trust you with impact because you learned how to move with intention instead of ego. That's what loyalty in silence builds. Let me end this section with one last image. Imagine a volcano under the earth. For years, it sits still, quiet, forgotten. People build homes around it. They laugh near it. They doubt its strength. And then one day, without warning, it awakens, not angrily, not recklessly, but naturally, because its time finally came. You are that volcano, and your silent loyalty was the heat building under the surface. Now the world will feel what patience created. This is the reward, chosen one. This is the rise. This is the moment the universe hands you the power it kept waiting for the right version of you to receive. Loyalty in silence made you unstoppable. And now, the world has to face what that created. Number 4. The war that should have ended you, but built you. They thought those battles would break you. Instead, they built the version of you they're terrified to meet. Chosen one, let's get real about what you survived. Those weren't bad days. Those weren't rough seasons. Those were full-on wars disguised as ordinary life. You were fighting storms no one else could see. You looked calm on the outside while your soul was clawing its way through fires the universe never meant for average people to survive. And yet, you rose, again and again. That's why this new power is hitting so hard. It didn't come cheap. You walked through hell without flames touching your skin. That's not normal. That's chosen. Some hits were designed to destroy your identity. Some betrayals were meant to break your mind. Some heartbreaks were meant to make you swear off love forever. Some losses were meant to drain the last spark you had left. But every time the universe watched you fall, it also watched you refuse to stay there. That refusal. That's what separated you from everyone pretending to be strong. Imagine this. A boxer fighting opponents 3 weight classes above them, round after round. No coach, no crowd, no break. Yet somehow still standing when the bell rings. That's you. People saw the rounds but never saw the punches that landed in your spirit. Here's the truth your enemies don't want spoken out loud. Your battles weren't normal because you're not normal. The universe gave you fights only a chosen one could survive, because it was building a resilience no imitation can copy. And let's answer the question you whisper to yourself: why did I have to go through so much? Because your reward isn't ordinary. Your future influence isn't small. Your impact isn't for the faint-hearted. The universe needed proof, and you delivered. Every time you forgave someone who didn't deserve it, recorded. Every time you chose peace over revenge, recorded. Every time you kept going while empty, recorded. Your ledger is overflowing, and that, chosen one, is why your blessing won't look like anyone else's. It can't. You earned something unprecedented. Number 5. The shift they can feel but can't stop. They sense the change in you before you do, and that's why they're nervous. Chosen one, something inside you is moving right now, and it's not subtle, even if it feels quiet. It's that strange rising pressure in your chest, that sudden clarity in your mind, that feeling that you're not who you were last month, or even last week. You keep asking yourself, what is happening to me? Here's your answer. The universe just flipped your switch from survival mode to takeover mode, and once this shift starts, nothing and no one can drag you back down. Power doesn't arrive with noise. It arrives with awareness. For years, you walked through life feeling like every step was heavier than it should have been. You fought through invisible resistance no one else understood. You watched other people get breakthroughs that came easy, while yours demanded blood, sweat, and your last nerve. You weren't cursed. You weren't blocked. You weren't forgotten. The universe simply hadn't authorized your full release yet. Imagine this: a rocket strapped to the launch pad, engines ready, systems activated, but held down by clamps, not because it can't fly, but because the timing has to be perfect. That was you. Your potential was there the entire time. Your strength was there, your intuition was there, but your launch window hadn't opened. Now, it just did. You're feeling a power transfer. Not the fantasy kind, the real kind. The kind where your mind sharpens for no reason, where your body feels lighter but more grounded, where your instincts start exposing people without them saying a word, where the universe starts pushing you into places you once felt too small for. And here's the part your enemies can't handle. You're finally becoming the version of yourself they prayed you'd never meet. The shift has begun, chosen one, and everything in your life is about to rearrange itself around your rise. Number 6. The power they can't steal or fake. Everyone wanted your strength until they realized the universe doesn't hand power to the untested. Chosen one, let's make one thing painfully clear. Real power isn't gifted like a party favor. It's entrusted. It's earned in places nobody clapped for you, nobody saw you, nobody validated you, and nobody helped you. The universe doesn't hand serious power to people who crumble under pressure or get corrupted by attention. It only entrusts it to someone who has proven over and over again that they won't lose themselves the moment they rise. Power doesn't change chosen ones. It exposes what the suffering built. This rise you're feeling isn't random. It didn't fall out of the sky. It's happening because authority finally replaced all that anxiety that used to choke you. Discernment finally silenced the confusion you used to drown in. Purpose finally stepped in and kicked out all the wandering. Confidence pushed insecurity to the curb. Flow replaced struggle in places that used to feel impossible. Imagine this: a key forged in fire, shaped only for one lock. No matter how many people attempt to copy it, none of them fit. That's your power. People can imitate your surface, but they will never unlock what the universe built specifically for you. Another image, a crown that looks heavy in the wrong hands, but fits perfectly in yours. Why? Because only you survived the storms that shaped it. And here's the question you've silently carried. Why me? Why now? Because you passed tests no one else even knew existed. Private tests, quiet tests, heartbreaking tests. Moments where quitting would have been easier, but you didn't. The universe watched every one of those choices. You weren't chosen because you're perfect. You were chosen because you stayed honest when no one was watching. That's why this power is yours now. Not borrowed, not imitated, entrusted, and the world is about to learn the difference. Number 7. The activation they're all feeling, but you're the only one built for it. They don't know what changed. They just know they can't treat you the way they used to. Chosen one, the power transfer isn't coming. It already started. And the universe has been slipping you signs so obvious it's almost funny. Your intuition used to whisper, soft, shaky, easy to ignore. Now it talks like a voice with receipts, cutting through lies before people even finish their sentences. You're not guessing anymore. You're knowing. That alone is enough to make your enemies sweat. Clarity is the first weapon the universe hands a rising chosen one. Look at your life. You don't tolerate drama anymore. You don't chase people. You don't explain yourself to small minds. You feel this internal pruning, like the universe is cutting off every dead branch so your growth has room to explode. And your dreams, they hit different now. They carry warnings, symbols, directions, glimpses of the next version of you trying to break through. Imagine this, a phone upgrading overnight while you sleep. You wake up and suddenly everything runs faster, smoother, sharper. That's your spirit right now. Another metaphor. Think of a sensor being recalibrated. You're detecting things you never noticed before. And here's the part that freaks people out. Your presence changed before your words did. People glance at you and feel something they can't name. A pressure, a weight, a command. They don't know why they notice you, but they do. Your energy walks 2 steps ahead of your body. You've started feeling this push too. This internal pull to become the version of yourself you always sensed in the background. The one with no fear, no doubt, no hesitation. The one who moves like the universe is guiding every step. That feeling, that's not motivation. That's activation. Number 8. Power hits before the world knows your name. They wanted you powerless because even they knew your rise would rewrite the whole ecosystem. Chosen one, the universe never hands promotion first. Promotion without power collapses. Fame without grounding destroys. Money without identity ruins people. That's why your upgrade didn't start in your bank account. It started in your spirit, in your mind, in your presence. Power always arrives before the spotlight because the universe refuses to let you mishandle what you were born to carry. Real elevation begins where no one is watching. This new energy inside you is the universe's signal that you're ready. People will feel your weight before they see your wins. Rooms will shift when you walk in. You won't break the way you used to. Confusion won't stick to you anymore. Your endurance was brutal because your calling stretches far beyond you. Generational, transformative, legacy level. And here's the truth most people won't say out loud. Your enemies sensed your future before you did. They attacked not because you were weak, but because you were becoming strong. They felt your potential long before you believed in it. They saw your rise long before you had language for it. That's why their hostility seemed random. It wasn't. It was recognition. Now, the power they feared is waking up. What took years will take months. What took months will take days. Doors open faster, connections appear naturally, solutions drop into your mind before problems overwhelm you. And wealth, not just financial, but emotional, creative, mental, spiritual, begins flowing toward you like a current finally unlocked. Your identity is stabilizing. Your old self is shedding. Your new self is stepping forward with precision, authority, and clarity the past version of you could never access. This is not improvement. This is activation. Your transformation isn't beginning, it's completing. Your alignment isn't forming, it's locking in. Chosen one, you're not stepping into a role, you're stepping into your era. And chosen one, if you felt this message in your chest, that's the universe confirming your rise has already begun. You're stepping into a level of power, clarity, and purpose the old version of you could only dream about. This is your turning point. This is your shift. This is your era. And before you head out, press the like button if you haven't already, and if you're not part of this family yet, hit that subscribe button. Stay connected, stay activated, and stay ready. Your story is only getting louder from here.